Good morning. We are extremely pleased that you are here. It is good to come together for the purpose of co-creating. Do you agree?
Yes.
You're knowing what you are wanting?
Yes.
Are you enjoying the expansion of your desire, your personal desire? You like that? You like life showing you more and more that you want? How do you feel you're doing in relationship with your desires? Does it feel to you that you are getting more and more up to speed with your desires? Do you more often believe that what you want is coming? Do you notice how many of your desires have already fully manifested? That's really a wonderful thing. You know, looking at what is working is the best way to get more working. Because when you're focused upon how good the good is, the good gets better. When you're focusing on the pieces that are still missing, then you hold those places, those pieces missing longer. Law of attraction sort of works it out that way. You get what you think about, whether you want it or not. What you think about is what you're offering vibrationally, isn't it? And since you live in a vibrational universe where everything is responding to your vibration, it's really good to get a handle on what your vibration is, isn't it? Do you feel that you're doing that? Your emotions are letting you know? Do you ever find yourself saying, well, that day turned out about like it should have? Or, I saw that one coming. Oh, I saw that one. Oh, that was not a surprise to me. And we want you to get to the place where you realize that it never ever needs to be a surprise, because you are so aware of what you've been doing vibrationally, how you've been feeling, what's your mood or attitude been lately. Because what it's been lately is most likely what it's being now. And what it's being now is the vibration that you are outputting, which means law of attraction is responding to it. So how you feel is your point of attraction, isn't it? You've been listening to us for a while. You get all of that, don't you? You like being vibrational beings? Say yes, because you have no choice. You like being aware that you are vibrational beings? Now that's the difference. That's what sets you apart from most. Because once you know that you are a vibrational being, that means that you can offer your vibration intentionally. The key to being deliberate and having control over your point of attraction. Ooh, we love those words. Control over your point of attraction. You creating your own reality. You deciding what you want, and you setting the tone, and you practicing the tone, and you emitting the frequency deliberately, and you noticing what's coming in response to your deliberate offering of vibration. It just doesn't get any better than that. When you sync up with the source within you, when you sync up with all that you've been asking for, when you sync up with all that you have become, all that you have decided that you want, and all that you have already vibrationally become, that's when it gets a little dicey for some. You've already vibrationally become the vibrational version of every desire that this time-space reality has helped you to figure out. But sometimes you're not living it. Sometimes you can't yet see it. You can't hear it. You can't smell it or taste it or touch it. And you say, yeah, Abraham, there's not that much satisfaction, you know, in the vibrational version of things. And we say, but if you'll hang in there in satisfaction for the good feeling that you found when you focus upon what you want to be. What you want to be must be realized completely by you. And the only reason that sometimes you don't think it's going to be, or that it isn't yet, is because you're so aware of its absence that you block its presence from your realization. A few seminars ago, Esther and Sandy were moving around in the back hallways of the hotel. Esther calls it the belly of the whale. She loves being back there. They are so efficient and all different and very confusing. And Sandy goes ahead the night before with arrows bright pink arrows, and she sticks them on the wall to mark Esther's path so that Esther won't have to roam around with you out in the... She likes that too. And so Esther is making her way with Sandy. They're following the arrows, and it's in a particularly confusing place. But they made their way back. They were having a very good time. And when they got to the back door to come into the room, the door was locked. So close and yet so far. And Esther laughed because they had plenty of time. And Sandy went scurrying off, mad at herself a little bit because the door was locked. It hadn't been the night before, but someone had been very efficient and locked it up, and so they couldn't get in. And as Sandy was going to find someone, two women walked around the corner, and Esther said, "Do you happen to have a key to this room?" And one of them smiled and pulled it from her pocket and opened the door. And Esther was able to holler at Sandy so she didn't get too far away. We're in, we've made it in. We want you to realize that right around the corner is everything you want. The key to every closed door really is right around the corner. But you got to be in the place of allowing that to happen. There is always someone walking right around the corner with the key. Always, 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 always. But if you are in a bad mood, if you are disappointed in yourself or others, if you are feeling guilty or worried about something, if you've been beating the drum of injustice, if you've been practicing a frequency that translates right away into the manifestation of negative emotion, did you hear how clever that was? Translates into the manifestation of negative emotion as opposed to translating into the manifestation of positive emotion. The emotions that you feel are the first translation. They are the first manifestation. It's the first evidence of being in the place where more of what you're wanting is coming. So, we are eager to talk with you about anything that matters to you. Nothing is off limits here. You'll notice a nice unfolding as together we find a rhythm and scenarios that support what most of you have come to amplify or solidify in your own creative experience. You are magnificent creators, and life is supposed to be good for you. And you are supposed to manifest in real terms everything that you want. You are. That's what you signed on for. And you've been banging around in this physical experience, and you have come to many conclusions that are yours personally and that are wonderful, wonderful, wonderful things for you to want. It is our desire that you begin immediately to realize more of them, because there's just no excuse anymore not to. You know too much. You have the tools. You know about law of attraction. Law of attraction says you get what you think about. You know that you live in a vibrational universe, and you are understanding that you are emitting a vibration. And you know that your emotions let you know how you're doing with that. Your emotions are your indicator between the frequency of who you've really become with all of the desires that you've launched and who you're allowing yourself to be right here, right now. So what we're really talking about all day, every day, in terms of the effectiveness of your personal creation, in terms of the effectiveness of you getting what you want and fulfilling your purpose and living your dreams and living happily ever after in the way that you intend to. The ratio, the thing that we're talking about all the time, is the relationship between what you want and what you believe about it. What you want and what you believe about it. So if you want prosperity and you are so happy whenever you see someone who is living a prosperous life, then there's no discordance in your frequency. You're not introducing resistance. You are in perfect sync with your desire, and it's going to come right around the corner. But if you are seeking prosperity and you feel concerned about those who have already got it, if you feel envious about their success or angry at them for getting there first, or mad at yourself for not yet being there. Those negative emotions are your indicator that there is a vibrational variance between your desire and your practice thought, and you just can't get there from there. You've got to change your frequency. You can't walk into a different room. You can't hang around with different people. It isn't about the action. You can't even get a different job. You can't even line up different ways for money to come to you. If you don't change the vibrational frequency, the doors are going to keep being locked. You're going to be walking down hallway after hallway after hallway, complaining longer and longer and louder as you go further and further into the depths of the belly of the well that won't yield to you what you want. But when you figure it out, that you can change the frequency, not all at once, takes a little practice. You can't just all of a sudden start believing something that you haven't been believing, because a belief is just a thought that you keep thinking. And the reason that a belief is a thought that you keep thinking is because law of attraction causes a momentum about the thought that you keep thinking. So you think the thought, and law of attraction brings you another thought like it, which then you notice. And now you're thinking about that too. So in order to really understand law of attraction, and in order to really understand your point of attraction, in order to understand your point of attraction and the way law of attraction is responding to you, you have to, or it's easier if you will, put the word momentum in there, because law of attraction is all about momentum. So if this was your first day here, you'd be smaller and lighter. Your energy would be flowing in a lighter, easier way. You would still be loving yourselves. You would not hold any conflicting beliefs. Wouldn't have a lot of desire going on yet either. Not much challenging, not much desire in those early days, and not much challenging it. But as you move through life, life causes you to launch more and more rockets of desire. When you know what you don't want, you know what you do want. So you're launching these rockets of desire, which are literally, we are not kidding you about this at all. It's literal to us because we can sense them on every level. It's not literal to you yet because you can't see it, hear it, smell it, taste it, touch it. But it is a vibrational reality. We've been calling it your vortex of attraction. And it is the sum of all that you've become. Part of it is who you were before you even came into this physical body. But you've been adding to it and adding to it and adding it to it. And there is a vibrational version of you that you can allow completely when you release your resistance. We've enjoyed this interaction more than words can explain. You are in a different vibrational frequency than you have ever been in your life. Your set point has moved substantially just in this little bit of time that we've been together. You now know exactly what to do, but don't go do it with some fervor or angst or trying too hard. Just chill out. Say to yourself as you're leaving, I got everything that I needed from this gathering, and I now am going to move more easily through life experience than ever before. And if somebody says, what did you learn and what are you going to do? Say, I don't really know. I don't really know. I'm just waiting for the inspiration. Feels to me that I just got to tune up, and now my engine's just running better, so I'm going to go faster and further with more stamina and vigor and energy and excitement and flexibility and dexterity, and all good things are coming to me. They are. All good things are coming to you. There is great love here for you. And as always...